Hello everybody, it is me, Miss Kawaii Girl, otherwise known as Adele, and today I'm going to be doing a clay tips and tricks video. I'll be having a whole series on this, but this is just the first video. In the background are some of my clay charms, and I will be explaining why they're there in a little bit. But first, let's start with the brands that I use. So these are all polymer clays, but they're in different companies. So first we have Primo. And I just picked some of these up because they were unpackaged. I mean, they weren't taken out of the packages. Sorry there. So we have white and this really pretty, let's see the color, gray granite, and I really like this color. I have a project idea and I'll be sharing that later. Next we have the company called Fimo, and at the moment I have a Fimo Effect, but they also have Fimo Classic and Fimo Soft. And for Primo, there's Primo Sculpey, which is this one. And then there's Primo Accents, which has different styles in it, such as gray granite. Next we have Craft Smart. And this is in tan. And last but not least, we have the original Sculpey 3. And this is in a ballerina. So these are the different types of clays that I personally use, even though there are other kinds, like Sculpey comes out with Bacon Bend, eraser clay, but I personally have not tried those yet. And I also know there's Pluffy clay. I haven't tried that either. And please excuse the terrible nails. I have to fix those. But I'm in the middle of making some clay charms right now. So I'm going to be doing a full review and showing you a few of the charms that I've made out of these clays. So first, let's start with Sculpey. Now for Sculpey, it comes with a pretty good price, but it really depends on where you get your clays. I know some people, like K-Chaos Dakota in Singapore, finds her clays for $9, which is not cool, overpriced. I know some states do sell them for a higher price than other states, but I get mine for around $2 a block, which is inexpensive if you buy one or two, but it gets pretty expensive after you need to buy like 10 blocks, because then you're spending like $20 on clay. So that is why I usually wait around until there is a 4 for $5 sale. So that's a tip right there. And usually when they have the 4 for $5 sale, it applies to all polymer clays, including Primo, Sculpey, Craft Smart, Fimo Effect, etc. Another quick tip when you're buying clays is you need to search around and go on the Michaels websites, AC Mark website, or the craft store that you go to. If they have a website, you need to go and check their daily events and deals. And usually you can find a discount, but I don't think that you'll be needing a discount for the one regular priced item. Try to search for the discount for the whole entire purchase. So, and in addition, there are also colors that are not selling well in your particular craft store, and they usually put those on sale. I've seen some for 50 cents, 89 cents, so if you like that color, just grab it up. There's so many things you can do with different colors of polymer clay, so it never hurts to buy something, especially if it's wonderfully priced. So now I'm going to move back to Sculpey. This type of clay, Sculpey 3, I've never really had a problem with, besides a few times the white Sculpey 3 did dry out pretty quickly, and the tan did sometimes, but most of the time it's really soft, and I don't know if you can see, but when you push down into the clay, it makes a good indent. So another quick tip when you're buying any kind of clay is just to try to see if you squish it, if it's soft. And if it crumbles, then that's usually not a good sign. In this case, as you see here, there are crumbles on the sides, but that does not necessarily mean that it's hard, because look, I just made an indent. It's really easy to squish. So that means it is good clay. Sometimes it does crumble, even though it's not bad clay. But the way you can distinguish if it's soft or not is just simply placing your finger and it would make an indent. So with this, the baking instructions, I usually bake all of these clays at 275 for about 25 minutes because my charms aren't super thick. But I've noticed that sometimes with the Fimo clays mixed with Sculpey, because sometimes I do creations with Fimo and Sculpey, and one part would be like a little unbaked, and one part would be overbaked, so you have to make sure you read the packaging directions correctly. But overall for Sculpey, I think it's probably a really good clay for beginners. I suggest you buy the sample pack. It has different colors, and it's really good overall. But remember, like, sometimes they do have some faults, and they could be either too soft or too hard, so you gotta check with that. Otherwise, it's very easy to work with. It does stain your fingers, like the Red Hot Red. It does stain your fingers, and greens also stain your fingers, so that's something to watch out for. Next, I'm going to move on to Fimo. So for the Fimo Classic, I must say, probably the hardest clay I've ever worked with. It just doesn't budge. Actually, this charm right here was made with the Fimo Soft, but it might as well have been a Fimo Classic because it was so hard to deal with, and it was just brand new from the packaging. And every single time I would go to the store, they'd always be hard, but I really liked the color, so I decided, why not pick it up, and then I'd buy some clay softener. But I'm going to do another review on clay softener. I personally don't like it, so I'll do a review on that. So Fimo, altogether, it has never been a really soft clay for me, even the soft edition and the effect edition, but I'm going to have to learn to deal with it because I really like the Fimo effect that they like. So just a quick tip, not the best brand for beginners because it is hard, and yeah. The only bad thing, if you do get a, sorry, I just hit my camera there. If you do get a soft piece, this does pick up on fingerprints really quickly, and so does Sculpey. Craftsmart not as much, and Primo not as much, but Fimo and Sculpey, you have to watch out for that. And in addition, Fimo is probably the #1 brand that stains your hands, so be careful. They're greens and they're reds, probably the most pigmented, and it's just madness all over your hands. But with any color, basically, if it's too soft, it does stain your hands as well. So that's my basic overview of Fimo. I really like their selection of effects, and I don't like any other type. One thing I forgot to mention about Sculpey is that they have a wide range of colors, and I also like their effect colors. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but I really like them. My favorite one is the silver one, and I make my robots with those, and I really love to make robots because they're probably my favorite thing, and dinosaurs. So yeah, that's for Fimo and Sculpey. Next, we're going to move on to Craftsmart, and this is going to be a really quick one. Basically, probably the softest clay, but the only problem is that, Primo and Craftsmart are probably really soft, but sometimes if you leave this in a container, even if you do, sometimes it dries up, depends on the block. It's really like a Russian roulette type thing. You really don't know what happens, you just have to try it out, even if it is soft when you first try it out. But it's a really good soft clay, easy to work with, and the only thing is it could dry out sometimes, but other than that, it's really good. Their selection of colors isn't that great, at least at my Michaels, but I really like their tans, so I usually only buy my tans with Craftsmart. Last but not least, we have Primo, and this is probably my favorite brand, Primo and Sculpey. So this is just another line addition to Sculpey. They came out with this new line in their brand, and I really like the Primo White, the Primo, the gray granite. These are both really pretty colors, and I usually buy my Primos as white or Craftsmart whites. And this is really soft clay. I never ever had a problem with it. That can just be me, but never had a problem whatsoever. The only bad thing is sometimes fingerprints, but that usually happens a lot with any other clays. Craftsmart, I don't have that much of a problem with fingerprints, but I really like this clay. Never had a problem with hardness. Really easy to condition. Probably my favorite is the Accents line. It's amazing. I love all the colors in there. And I really suggest this brand. Probably my top favorite out of all of them, even though I really like the Craftsmart Tans and the Sculpey selection as well. But I really, really, really like Primo. So this is my overview for the clays. In addition, I have a few charms here. First, I have these that are made solely out of Sculpey. Just a few things like a cookie, this bunny, this pink macaroon with vanilla filling, this cloud, and this volcano. And these are all made out of solely polymer clay, but in the company of Sculpey. Now these are made combined with Craftsmart and Sculpey. We have this chibi, this Alice in Wonderland, this Hatsune Miku, and if you see tan, it's Craftsmart. If you see any other color, it's Sculpey. This cupcake, these two, and this biscuit. And last but not least, this is really the only one that I was able to pick out that was made out of Fimo, and the base was made out of Fimo and the bow. And Fimo was basically really hard to work with, so this took quite a while, and it stained probably the worst color that you can stain your hands with. So this is my basic review. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope this helped. I'd like you to please place a comment or video response letting me know how you liked the video and what is your favorite brand of clay. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!